Hi everybody and welcome to ESC Fan TV. Tonight it's all about Portugal. We are going to be covering the Festival da Canção competition, which takes place from the 22nd of February this year. The first semi-final takes place on the 22nd of February, followed by the second semi-final on the 29th of February, with the final shortly after. What do we know? We know that Filomena Cautelia, I don't know if anyone remembers, was one of the three hosts. Was it three hosts? It was three hosts from Euro. Was it four? Thank you, Joe. From Eurovision 2018 in Lisbon. So we all remember her. She was probably one of the shining lights of the 4-2 as well. Portugal have won Eurovision. Yes, they have. Which is why we were in Portugal in 2018. The Portugal debuted in 1964. Of course, Portugal have only ever won once. Can this be their year for the second time? We are going to find out tonight. Festival da Canção. What a competition. I remember last year we were talking about how fantastic it was. In fact, I think we had it as one of our national selections of the year. It was certainly in our awards ceremony. And there was a lot of love. There's been 320 entries into Festival da Canção this year. There has been 16 selected, 8 in each semi-final. 4 will qualify from each semi-final. And yeah, we will find out pretty soon who Portugal will select. Obviously, Portugal didn't do so well at Eurovision 2019. Conan was chosen. He was the people's vote in Portugal, and sadly finished 15th in semi-final 1 in Tel Aviv, which he was very sad about. We were very sad about. But yeah, let's talk more about Portugal. But before we do that, some basic housekeeping. ESC Fan TV, you know who we are by now. You know where we are. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook, Instagram. We're on Spotify. We are also on Apple Podcast. You can go and find us and tell us what you think about us. By all means, give us a like this show, click the like button. And if you haven't already, please click subscribe. We really do appreciate it. That's enough about the housekeeper. Let's move on quickly. Who have we got on the show tonight? To my left, and I'm going to point, it's going to be my right now, isn't it? Yes. To my left, it's Andy Brooke. Hello, Andy.
Hello, Stuart. Calling you from a padded cell, apparently.
It does look about a padded cell.
Well, no, actually, it's a recording studio.
There we go. Because if you didn't already know, Andy is a musician. He's a singer-songwriter, and he came second in London Vision again this year.
Fifth. I'm going down.
You go. You should have just taken the second place.
Second and run, yes, indeed.
To my right, we have, as always, we have Joe.
Hello, I'm back. Yeah.
So you're doing pretty much every show this week, Joe, aren't you?
Yeah. Night off next week, I think.
Yeah. Below Joe, we have Tristan.
Hello, nice to see you all again.
To my far sort of down here, isn't he? Let's see if I can get the point. We have all the way from Cyprus. We have Oban.
Hello, everyone. So good to be back, opening the season of 2020.
It's good to see you again. It's always Oban. And we couldn't do Portugal without having David all the way from Portugal on the show. How are you, David?
I'm fine, thanks. And I'm very excited. This year is very, very strong.
It is. I mean, I'm going to go as far as to say that this is the best Festival da Canção that I remember. And we're going to get into the songs now. So let's start with semi-final 1. Let's get straight into it. Semi-final 1 kicks off with the song Rebellion by Blasted. Let's take a little listen. Music and lyrics by Blasted, Stega and Galera. They're electro rock bands. They were formed in 1995. They've had albums all over Portugal, 9 in fact. And this is one of the songs. There are some songs with English in within, but this is one song that has English throughout. I'm going to come to Andy for his comments on this particular song. Andy, Blasted in Rebellion, what do you think?
Well, wow, it instantly draws you in. It's got a very simple verse that you can sing along to. When the song finished, I was literally singing along to it for a couple of minutes afterwards. But I think it might suffer in the Portuguese competition from being sung in English. If it doesn't, it'll go to Eurovision and it will definitely be top 10, could be top 5.
And Joe, what do you think?
I absolutely agree with Andy. I think if the Portuguese public can actually warm to this because it's in English, yeah, I tell you what, this one's going all the way. It's not going to win, I don't think, but I think top 5 in the final, straight through to the final. I'll absolutely love it, really do.
David, what's been the reaction in Portugal to this song? And has there been what kind of reaction has there been to it being sung entirely in English?
This song, I think, is being huge reception. They are big names, of course. In Portugal, they have 9 albums, of course. They write their own songs. The first time I heard it, I think one of the best songs, of course, one of the strongest, because I think they taste and find one is strong, but Blasted is very unique. The style is very unique as well. They mix a lot of genres, of course, but the Portuguese reaction, I think one of the best, one of the top views, of course, they're on Festival da Canção YouTube channel. They have one of the top reception as well. So I think they can see this in Eurovision, of course. They see.
Yeah, it certainly could go to Eurovision. I think clearly the fans have drawn to this, given that it's, it's kind of electro rock style. I mean, I put here electro rock, a mix of electronica and rock. Sounded a bit like Evanescence with a bit of fado thrown in. I mean, kind of everything's been thrown into this song, and it really does draw you in. Tristan, you like this as well, don't you?
Yeah, no, it is actually my one of my favourites, maybe my favourite. So I do like it. I do like a lot of their other stuff, though. I mean, if you listen to the other stuff on YouTube, it's a lot more kicking but I just absolutely love the band. I love the fact they dress up in these crazy costumes as well. I think it's going to do really well.
Song 2. Felipe Sambardo with the song Gebera Amera do Sol. I'm going to absolutely butcher this language by the end of tonight, aren't I? Let's have a listen.
Já da tese aristocrática, com tão pouca matemática e ciência de opinião, mais eucalipto que pinheiro.
So I've done a bit of research into Felipe because it was quite hard to find some stuff on some of the artists. And I've learned that he had his first album in 2012. He's a singer-songwriter. He's got a brand new album that came out in January, Revezo, I think that's pronounced. Apologies, David, if I've mispronounced that. What do we think of this particular song? He's written himself. David, what do you think?
It's very good. Reminds me of old school. I think when I heard this song for the first time, I remember a big artist. You are most heard of it from like big artists. This reminds me of Zeca Afonso style because it's very typical. Zeca Afonso is really good. It's kind of fresh by Zeca Afonso because this is very traditional. This Zeca Afonso, this is a folk, right? Now this is very good. Lyrics are very well structured. I think the title is very complicated, of course, but this is Zeca Afonso vibes, and I really enjoy it because this is a style I never heard much in the Festival da Canção in recent times. So this is a breath of fresh air on this one.
And Oban, I know you were quite keen on this song, so you can take yourself off mute. Felipe Sambardo, what do you make of this?
I mean, it is an easy listening song. It is very Portuguese, If you be sitting by the coast or Portuguese coast in a bar, the seaside bar, you just like enjoy your life. You say, yeah, okay, this song is on. You have your nice cold rosé. This is life. But standing out, will it be standing out in the Eurovision crowd? One big question mark for me.
Finally, I come to you, Tristan. Quick comment on Felipe Zambada.
No, I mean, it's okay. Just its lyrics are really, really odd. I mean, I don't understand them. But he's sort of like he says, you know, he feels like a piece of clothes of beachwear, roupa de praia, and then he says that he asked to be turned into a dragon fruit, which is pitaya, and then he keeps going saying, "Oh, tio tal consolado," which means sort of like, "Oh, uncle, I'm so comforted." What is it all about? And I'd love maybe if that can be explained. I mean, are they nonsense lyrics? Do they have a special meaning? I don't really understand.
I think that's one back to you, David. Do the lyrics make sense in Portuguese, or are they kind of a big mix and mash of different things?
I agree because I understand the lyrics, but I think the lyrics it's good, but I didn't study much the lyrics because I heard the songs in full, but I never watched. I think I heard it all the song at least twice. Some songs twice, some songs once. Yeah, it's I think we have to give more listen to understand the song. I think
It's about sex.
Is that just modus operandi with you, Andy, isn't it?
All songs are about sex. Either overtly or otherwise.
Song 3, let's move on. Ian Musnick with O Dia de Alemanha. Let's listen to this song.
O dia de amanhã, quem sabe como será? Ver o sol nascer, ainda estarmos por cá.
Music by João Cabrita and the lyrics by Ian himself. It's a traditional ballad. Ian is a singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist. He has a mix of styles, but this is a pure ballad, and I'm going to come to Oban for your view on this song.
So with Ian, I just have to say I am in love with his voice. He has a great tone and very deep sound, and I can see that on stage he will be having his moment. He will enjoy it as an artist. And if I would be a Portuguese speaker, I am sure that I will also enjoy it with him. And having said that, as a foreigner, I don't think it is also relatable, besides that it's being a nice and decent song.
And Joe, does this float your boat? Because you love a ballad.
I do, and I also love Portugal. I loved Portugal and all their entries in the 80s and the 90s, and this does remind me a lot of that. It is a ballad, and it is slightly, I don't know, some people might say it's outdated, but it's not. It's just timeless. It's a, it could be a classic. My only problem was I think it would probably get lost if between that first semi with Blasted. Unfortunately, it's nice.
This might surprise you. It's actually one of my favourites. The bit in the middle, there's a really beautiful little melody going on, and it's really, really cute. It's not. I don't think it's going to win. May not even qualify, but it's such a beautiful song. Moving on, because there's so many songs to get through. Song 4 is Elisa with Medo de Sentir.
Qual é a saída? Eu acho que já não sei amar, e se o amor me convida, agora não consigo aceitar. Parece que é rotina, a minha solidão tem-me em voltar.
Another ballad, music and lyrics by Marta Carvalho. She's from Madeira, and she's a former pop idol star in Portugal. Tristan, this is one of your favourites, isn't it?
No, it's the other Elisa. It's one of my favourites.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah.
well, I won't come to you.
Elisa Rodriguez. I don't mind her though. but it's a lovely sound. Actually, the string arrangement is fantastic. The same guy who did Coldplay's Viva La Vida.
I didn't know that.
Really
Interesting. Interesting. Oban, you like it though, don't you?
I mean, this is the song, no matter what language you speak, you will relate to. You will close your eyes, you will remember something from your past, you will remember something you wish for your future. And this is, I think, one of very few songs that can make it to the final in the real world. I love it. I love it.
Praise indeed. Moving on to song 5, Mira with Copa de Gin. Let's have a little listen.
Sei o caminho a seguir, mas vejo que vontade não tem, não pensa e não quer sentir. Eu vou respirar por ti encontrar. Eu sei, bem sei que há tanto mais.
So, Mira are Johnny Abbey, Goldmatic and Cecilia Costa. Interesting about this particular song is the music's by Mira, but the actual lyrics are written by Mira and Izora from Eurovision 2018. So what do we make of this particular song? Coming to David. David, Copa de Gin, what's your view on this particular song?
This is a very interesting song. You know, people love this song, but they credit, I think the first comment I see, they criticize, I think, the vocalist ability or vocal ability, because but this song is very good. I think they won a contest, Be Here or it was another group. They are very good. I think they are a brand new group, which this is very exciting, and the song is very good, but I have some problems, but I think this song can be really, really good. It's more than, but it's, it's kind of, I think it's one of the phases going through, but in the final, I think it depends on the staging, because we don't know staging because it's different.
And Andy, just coming to you, should Portugal send an up-tempo pop song? 3 young lads, 3 good-looking young guys, good beat to it, good melody. Is this the kind of song that Portugal should be sending?
Are we talking about Copa de Gin?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't have it down as a particularly up-tempo pop song. For me, it's elevator music, a very posh hotel elevator music with loads of diminished chords, diminished 7s, augmented 6, diminished 5ths. I love it, but no, of course they shouldn't be sending it to Eurovision. But if they like it, that's great. There's a really high standard of song in the contest this year, and it's all very identifiably Portuguese, as is this song, or Brazilian influences in it. But it's not right for Eurovision. It just doesn't. It doesn't grab hold of you.
And if you just tuned into ESC Fan TV, this is the first time you're watching us. We cut no bullshit here. We are all about honest fan reactions, fan truths, fan opinions. So what you get is what you see is what you get. Joe, tell me about this one.
I'll tell you, I was listening to the Portuguese entries at the gym tonight, and this is fantastic for walking on the treadmill too. The beat, like that. It was just absolutely fabulous. And I thought, gosh, has 3 minutes gone by already? How many calories have I actually burnt off? It was fantastic. So yeah.
Did you build up a sweat?
Do you know what? No, because I only had it on. I was nice even pace, and I was walking. I wasn't actually running, so I was just warming up. But that one came on. I thought, right, and it was perfect. It just got me in time and got me going. I'll tell you.
It looks like we might have lost David temporarily. He's got some difficulty. Right, song 6, Jazz with Agora. Let's take a listen. There we go.
chegar aqui e dizer-te o que fazer. Talvez assim tu vás entender que tudo o que faço é por ti. Sim, demorei a compreender o medo deste mundo onde sempre vivi.
Yeah, I have to say this is my favourite of the entire competition. It is. Do you know why? It absolutely sounds like
You've got no taste.
I've got no taste. It sounds to me like Morshiba's By the Sea, and that's one of my favourite all-time tracks. That it absolutely reminds me of that. This is the type of song I will watch, I will listen to, sat by the beach, drinking a cocktail. This is absolutely right on my street. So yeah, Zika's the front lady. So and it's such a fantastic song. It's written by one of the most famous musicians in Portugal. What do we think of Agora? Let's come to Joe. Joe, what did you make of it?
I didn't really, if I'm honest. I don't know why you like it as your favourite. I mean, we all have our own. Yeah, pleasant, easy to listen to. I'm not into sitting, sipping cocktails on the beach though, to be fair. So that's probably why I don't like it as much. I want something a bit more get up and go. So that one sort of got up and went for me.
Am I the only one who actually likes it? Put your hands up if you like it. All right. Oh. Even David's not putting his hand up. Well, I really liked it. Okay. Well, I'm obviously alone. Let's move on. Let's move on to Throws in the Shrine.
Olhos vendados, não consigo ver o céu. Olho à volta, não sei o que aconteceu. Depois da chuva, nada mais permaneceu. A luz que havia no caminho se perdeu. Noite e dia, sol já não brilha. Sonhos apagados como cigarrilha. O que é dado é tirado e eu não sabia. Essa onda me levou enquanto eu fugia.
Throws in the Shine have written the song. It's open, still going. They've written the song. They've produced the lyrics for it. It's a collaboration of Angolan dance music mixed with electronic sounds and a bit of rock thrown in. Tristan, tell us about this one.
I absolutely love it. I mean, they're a band from Porto, as you said, members from Angola, and it's this dance style which is called kuduro, which is it's an Angolan sort of like dance stuff. They're a fantastic band, and if you go on Spotify, they have some fantastic music. I mean, there's one of their other songs. If you look for Dan Solo remix of a song called Capuca, it's fantastic, and the lyrics are brilliant. It makes you want to dance. The lyrics are really deep. There's one of the lyrics, "Atiço a mente que se perde en silencio." I stir the mind which is lost in silence. Refém do toque que define o pensamento. Hostage of the touch and defines thought. It's just absolutely fantastic to listen to. It'd be great if it won and you had the translation on the back so that people could understand it. And I love the dubstep because often you get songs that have a bit of a dubstep bit in it, but this has got two, and there's not sort of like, it's not like just putting a bit of dubstep in it to make it sound a bit up to date. This is a proper woke, up to date song, which is really real and really it's just brilliant. It's definitely the fantastic.
Can it win? Can it win in Portugal? Open. What's your take on this?
Stuart, which camera is it? I want to speak directly to the Portuguese people. Portugal, please, I beg you, please send Thrones to Eurovision. I want this song so badly. I am so scared it's gonna be a second Middleton's case for me. And I if this song comes to the Eurovision and they make it to the final, I put on a G-string on and I twerk all 3 minutes long.
And there's a reason for it not to go through.
I love you.
Anything can
I
happen,
want this
Norman.
song.
Anything
Please
can
vote.
Sorry, David. What were you saying? No, doesn't matter. So Throws in the Shrine. Let's see how they get on. Final song of semi-final one. It's Barbara Tinoco.
Não nunca vai dar, não é para ser, acabou entre nós, meu amor. Eu tentei dizer, fiz-te entender que estava perto do fim.
So Barbara's reasonably famous in Portugal. She was in The Voice. She's 21. She's already had 2 singles out. And this is quite sort of Edith Piaf in style. And as I'll get onto with one of my guests in a minute, it kind of goes into a bit of a weird kind of Charleston in the middle of it. Let's start with Andy. Andy, you're a bit of a fan of this particular one.
Well, yes, I didn't want to be when it started. I'm like, oh, no, really no. But it's really got something. It's a lot of the songs in this year's competition want to have a middle section that's a completely different style. So I was half expecting it to go into dubstep or grime or something really unexpected, and it did, but it went into Charleston or something similar. So yeah, it really surprised me. I started off thinking, ugh, and I ended up thinking, oh yeah, could win.
Yeah, it definitely stands out, doesn't it? Joe, do you like this one?
I do. I absolutely love it. This is the one where, you know, you're going to get a glass of wine outside on a cafe terrace and listen to this song, and you may be in Paris, even you may be in Lisbon. You know, you're just chilling out to this. It's fabulous. And you know, I'm one of these. I don't know what it is, but when I listen to music, sometimes I just think about whether it could be ice skated to, because I used to love watching ice skating when I was a kid, and this is a perfect song for a dance couple to do I don't know, tango or something to this music, and I just love it. Fabulous.
And finally, Tristan, Barbara
Yes.
Tinoco.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful, and I mean, it's a really strong lyrics as well. So it's all about a girl breaking up and telling her boyfriend, look, just my EPs, my copy of Dorian Gray and all the other books. If your friends ask you what happened, why we split up, just make sure you tell them that it's not my fault. But I'm just not made to deal with weirdos, and I just ran away from you. And it's a really great song about sort of like a woman standing her ground and saying, just get out of my life. I want nothing to do with you. And we're never going to be a couple again, not even if with a passepartout, which I think is some kind of skeleton key. I don't know if that's like slang for a hall pass or something like that, but that's the only bit I can understand. I love it. It was actually written by Thiago Nakarato, who I think was originally thinking of singing it himself, but it really wouldn't have worked from a male point of view, because if a man were to say that, basically the person is breaking up and saying, look, I'm going to take all your culture away from you. And you're going to really miss me because I'm going to take all my books and all records away. For a girl to say that, that's fine. For a guy to say that, that's not very nice. And so I'm glad that Thiago Nakarato, he's got a beautiful voice. He's got a beautiful voice, but I'm glad he agreed not to hand the song over to Barbara Tinoco.
So thanks for that, Tristan. That's all 8 songs in semi-final 1. I think before we move on to semi-final 2, very quickly, I'm just going to ask everyone to just recap their favourite song, just one song, and we'll start with Andy. Andy, who would go through for you from semi-final 1?
I'm Blasted and Rebellion.
Rebellion. Joe?
I would say Rebellion as well.
Okay, and Oben?
Do I really need to say which one? Thrones.
At least you get in
victory.
At least in semi-final 1 this year, you get a cultural orgasm, Oben.
I will be ready. I will be ready.
Tristan, who goes through for you?
I'll be with Oben and G-string dancing to throws.
And finally, David, this is Portuguese music. This is your country. Who goes through from semi-final 1 as the winner?
Okay, I'm going Blast, Barbara Tinoco. I'm going with Thrones and Shine, and I'm going with Mera.
Okay.
I think this is the 4 I think I'm going to pick.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Semi-final 2, 29th of February. First song, it's Luís Caracol with Gus Liberdade. Let's take a look.
Dói-me o país, antes me doesse dente para o tirar de raiz, mesmo sem anestesia. De certeza que doía, mas passava certamente. Dói-me a valer, que dor brava e remitente, nada fácil de curar nos exames que já fiz.
So there's an interesting story to this song. It's actually, lyrics are written by Antonio Avelar de Pino. I don't know if anyone remembers, but he actually wrote the song as well, co-wrote the song of Bem Bum from 1982 Portugal Eurovision.
Oh.
There you go, a little bit of trivia for you.
Yeah, that's an old one. Remember?
Oban, what did you make of this one?
So I want to say this song is my third favorite out of all the 16, and only reason is third and not second. I wasn't the fan of the rapping part. Yeah, the song, the singing is amazing. I love it. I love the tone. I love the energy. I love the vibe. And then the rappy part kicks in, and I was just like, why? And then, yeah, that's it.
And Joe, did this do it for you?
No, not really. I agree with Oban a lot. I just think, yeah, the song was lovely. You know, that there's a little bit of. It's funny now you're saying that again about 1982, because it reminds me a lot of Portugal in the 80s again. There's some of that, but yeah, that the bit that I didn't like was the rapping and everything. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of sort of mixing those genres. Really, it should have just kept it smooth and ballady, I think, all the way through.
Okay, let's move to song 2. Song 2, Claudio Frank, and it goes a little bit like this.
Eis a rainha do meu cartelão, eis a mulher que eu tanto procuro. Abrigo, conforto, sorriso. Vejo os teus olhos me chamar, perto de ti sinto a chama, e queima por dentro a minha alma, meu coração não se calma.
So the story around this song, it was actually played on a Portuguese radio station, Antena 1, and it won the masterclass. So it found its way into this competition via that route. So Claudio Frank, Oban, what did you make of this?
I love it. I mean, loving it is a little exaggeration, but in the second semi-final, I think it's definitely a qualifier for the national final. And it's a little bit outstanding. Yeah, I mean, shining in this crowd of boring songs. So yeah, I think he's gonna make it to the final, national final, but that's it. That's the end of the road for him.
And Tristan, what do you make of this one?
It's okay. I like it. His voice is quite odd, especially when he goes high. It's sort of like it's a nice song. I don't think it's going to do very well. In fact, I don't think it's. And looking at the comments on the YouTube, you got things like "Es candy para Cancao." This is cannon fodder. A lot of people don't like it at all. I know it really ends really suddenly, doesn't it? Sort of like as though after 3 minutes, the song was 4 or 5 minutes long, and suddenly, oops, 3 minutes, and it just stops.
It does. It kind of just stops all of a sudden. Yeah, you're right.
I'm not a big fan. In fact, it's my second least favourite of all 16.
And Joe, what did you make of this one?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Tristan. I've got this right down the bottom of my list, which is a shame because he seems like a really good singer, a nice singer. And yeah, and I got confused at the end as well. I was like, oh, has it stopped? Has it, we're going to carry on playing it? So I did wonder if it was something wrong with my system rather than he's stopping.
So do you know what? I'm agreeing with ESC Karen's that's just had his comment on the chat there. I love this, and I think it's just I don't feel we're meshing very well tonight. There's a lot of different views on music going on here. I absolutely love that kind of chill out vibe. So I'm a big fan of this song. I hope it goes through. Song 3. Now this is a fun one from Katie.
tens que matar para vencer na vida. Diz só quem falou, diz só que nós andamos à deriva. Diz só quem falou, diz só que somos geração perdida. Diz só quem falou, diz só.
Katie's from the Cape Verde, and this is a big mix of pop and R&B. Andy, you like this, don't you?
Oh, I love it. Yeah. This reminds me of Sade.
Yes.
That is, 40 years ago, probably.
Yeah, it does.
But nevertheless, if she is as good live as she comes over on the recording, this could be a contender.
Yeah, I can see the Sade reference. David, what do you make of this?
You know what? One of my favorites in the semi-final. Indeed, this, you know what? Cape Verde has this very good music scene. You know, this is very, Cape Verde is what, like, this is African vibes, and this, Cape Verde is very good musically. The songwriting Santiago is true to himself because it is also from Cape Verde. This is like is a breaks of Brazilian and African, and then you go to the party, and this is very good. I think this can go. I think I can say this. This is one of the best songs in this one, and I really enjoy it because it's African and it's pretty good.
And this would be something very, very different at Eurovision if it were to qualify. Tristan, what do you make of this?
It's really nice. I just really want to be next to Srupal drinking a caipirinha, and it probably needs a little bit of a bridge to it, so something extra. I do like it. I don't think it will get through, but it's a shame. But it's a great platform for her other stuff, because if you go on Spotify, you'll hear some beautiful songs that she's sung on, especially one called Isobol, remixed by DJ Hebraico.
And thanks for that. So let's move on to song 4. This is Dubio featuring +351.
No bar, rapaz triste, ninguém ouvia. Pobre moça chorava, acusava companhia por amor talvez passado, que alma lhe entristecia. E assim, em pranto ele se ria. Ria, louco, felicidade que estava pouco alegria do momento não desejada, nem outro.
I just caught Andy dancing there. Now Tristan's dancing as well. Look. They obviously like this one. We'll come to them shortly. So what we know about Dubio and 351, they don't have a record label, and they won the RTP public submission, hence why they're in Festival da Canção. It's a beautiful little track there. Andy, what do you make of this one?
It's different. It's really needs a really vampy performance. The song actually doesn't go anywhere. It just starts off like that, carries on like that. You get 3 minutes of it, but with the right intensity of performance, that could do really well.
You could tell Oben's enjoying it. Look at him.
Oh, baby, it's past his bedtime.
Tristan, what do you make of this?
It's actually beautiful. It tells a real story as well. So it talks about she just like telling a story about this boy propped up at the bar, thinking about lost love, and suddenly he starts crying, and then he starts to laugh, and it's just a way. We're just sitting there listening to her telling us a story. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got a lovely hook, with that guitar sound as well. It's just absolutely fantastic, and seeing it won that pre-submission thing, I think it will definitely get through to the final, to the qualifier. I really hope it does anyway. Lovely lyrics.
Let's find out. Song 5 is Elisa Rodriguez.
Not away, not away, not away, not away, not away, not away.
Elisa is another singer-songwriter. She's also written the music and lyrics to her song. That's quite a theme, actually, with this competition. There's a huge amount of singer-songwriters writing their own music. And can I just say now, not a single Laurel Barker in sight. Tristan, staying with you. What do you make of this one?
I mean, for me, it's her voice. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's my favorite of all the 16 acts. It's my favorite voice. Lyrics, just, I mean, there's just sort of like she just makes everything that just everything melts just so beautifully. And it's of all the songs, it's the one song which I really hope would stay in Portuguese if it were to win. I'm sure they all would. It's one song that really works beautifully in Portuguese. It's just lovely. And again, if you the only worry I have is that she's in the same semi-final with Caddy, and Caddy and her, the people's votes might split the vote a bit because they're both appeal to the same people. But I'm so happy I've discovered Elisa Rodriguez. I hadn't heard of her before. Checked her out to other stuff, and she's done two fantastic albums of songs, and her cover version of Sting's Roxanne is beautiful. It's just like it adds a whole different sort of level to that song. I actually realised it's a beautiful song. I never thought it was that beautiful when I heard Sting sing it.
And I read her bio, and she writes, Elisa wants to bring grace and beauty to every stage she walks upon. Oban, did she bring you beauty and grace?
Stuart, it feels like now we are talking music. Now we are talking originality. Now we are talking storytelling. You know what? Thrones is my Tamta, but Elisa Rodriguez is my Duncan Lawrence. You know what I mean? This is a quality song. It's mind-blowing. It's intriguing. It drags you in. It sucks you in with her into this hole of deep imagination. This is the song that I think Portugal would do a favor for themselves if they send it to Eurovision.
So fickle. A few minutes ago, he's telling us to send the other one. Andy, what do you make of this song?
It's all right.
It's
Well, so Tristan has spent the last 6 weeks doing nothing but prepping for this very show. I had the songs on in the background whilst I was doing the washing up, and this one sounded like a lot of Portuguese songs. If you're not really listening properly, it sounds as if she was singing it in English, and I find that really interesting. It's something I actually like about Portuguese. The song's all right. You don't want to know about the song, but if you half listen to Portuguese singing, is what I think people who don't understand English hear when they hear a song.
Yeah. And David, what do you think of this one, just quickly?
It's very good, it's original because a lot of I think it's like 65%, I think it's 2/3 of the songwriters sang their own songs. So it's good.
It's good. Okay, let's move on to, we're nearly done actually. We're on to the final three songs. This is Judas with Cubismo and Visado. Do you notice I've just gone to calling them by their artist name now and not bothering? I fell into my own trap there. Let's have a look, listen.
Os dedos desta mão que são os meus são mais largos do que o espaço entre os teus. E se queres respostas para os teus porquês, sou bem mais que a forma como tu me vês ou não, vês ou não, vês ou não.
Vezo now, Vezo now, Vezo now. It's very repetitive, but so is a lot of Eurovision classics. Tristan, tell us about this one.
I mean, nothing. I absolutely really like it, but it's. I think I had to count how many there were. He sings "Verso now," which means "Are you coming or not?" 32 times. That's 8 times, then 16, then an instrumental bit, and then another 8. I like it because it's so cheeky. It's cheeky because it is a song contest, but it's still actually really engaging, and I I love it on headphones when when on these headphones, listening to that bass, that really dirty bass that you get in the song is fantastic. It's good. I mean, it's funny. It's not in my top 4 of this semi-final, but I just really like it.
It's there for me. It's something very charming about it, and it won't be forgotten. Andy, what do you make of this one?
Yeah, well, I wanted to be there in the manager's office when they're playing around with different stage names for him, and somehow they came up with Judas, and the only name that I think would worse would be Hitler. And why would you call somebody Judas?
I'm going to have to put some disclaimers in this show tonight, aren't we? Fucking hell.
Anyway, the song leaves me cold, but quite a nice cold. There's something about it I hate, but I quite like.
I think it's really good. Mix of R&B and pop. And
It's a song that I'll be playing in my padded cell later.
Yeah, you might need it. Yeah, you might be in a cell after tonight's show. There's definite beat to it, and it's got that repetitiveness that Eurovision loves. Let's see. I think it's a qualifier. Right, let's move on quickly.
Treadmill again. Race to the treadmill.
Hopefully, this next one will be a song by Jimmy P.
Nós tivemos no outro, a minha luta é a vossa. O que nos une é eterno, não há preto nem branco. Eu vejo além da epiderme em nós e não há impossíveis. Nós somos inspiração para todos aqueles que fingem que nós somos invisíveis. E pensa em nós a falar no assédio há uns anos atrás, dentro do carro à porta do meu prédio, a falar do dinheiro e dessa fama passageira. Mas hoje somos homens, sabemos que isso é poeira.
French rapper Jimmy P with Aben Sonhado. It's partly in English. There are certain parts to it that are in English. His father was FC Porto Football Club's past footballer, Jorge Placido. There you go. A little bit of useless trivia. Yeah, exactly. A little bit of useless trivia. He's also a member of Crucial Group. And he's been an artist since 19 years old. This is kind of cool, isn't it, Tristan?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's I think we have to thank Mahmoud for this because he has made this kind. I mean, we had a little bit of rap early on, which was rubbish. That bit of rap which no one liked that spoiled that other song, whatever it was. The Luis Caracol and Gushli Bardade song. This is proper rap, and it's so nice. It's so melodic. It's so passionate. He's and when that drum kicks in that kick drum, it kicks in the last third. It's fantastic. He's apologising to his mother for being such a handful growing up, and he thanks God for giving him and bewildering him. Abisoniado means bewildered, bewildering him with a queen and his 2 wonderful daughters. He realizes how hard it must have been for his own mother to bring him up, and he apologizes, and it's just a beautiful song, and it's unfortunately, if it wins, and I really would be happy if it wins, unfortunately, I just think because no one's going to understand the lyrics. Well, then again, Soldi, it came second, so it could do very well, and I really do think it's thanks to Mahmoud. In fact, I've sent an email to Mahmoud's agent with a link to the song, because I'm going to interview him in a few weeks, and I wanted to ask him whether he'd sort of I wanted to show that he'd what he'd done, and he's managed to make rap and Eurovision work, because we know rap at Eurovision really doesn't work. Look at it now.
I think it's how it's delivered. I think we've come a long way from sort of mid '90s rap, haven't we, or even early 2000s rap? Yeah, exactly. David, does this stand a chance of winning?
I gotta say, this is my personal favorite because this is true. This is the rap. I think this reminds me 90s rap of like the Tupac style because it's very personal, because Jimmy P is very name in the Portuguese rap, and the Portuguese rap is really very different from the US rap, the current rap we listen, because Portugal, there's, you know, this is a poem singing. This is a poem is sing, because
Yeah.
well structured, and I think in the film is in the same title, because he talks about his family. This is like heartfelt, you know. I think this could win Portugal da Canção, because it's well hearted, you know, and I think Eurovision fans will understand the meaning of the song.
Do you know what I think? What I would say as someone who is not necessarily a massive fan of rap music, you have to kind of get through the first 30 seconds. And once you're through the first 30 seconds, the melody kicks in and you get it. And I think that's the only potential problem with it. It's you're going to hear it a number of times before Festival da Canção, but if it were to qualify for Eurovision, that's the only potential challenge I can see. Andy, what do you make of this? Can this win?
No, well, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And I don't know whether it can win Festival da Canção, and obviously if it's got beautiful lyrics, as we've just been hearing, then it may well do. But if it goes to Eurovision, I think it will probably suffer comparison with Soldi.
And Joe, rap. Can we see rap at Eurovision, and can it ever win?
No and no. I'm not a fan, and it's quite funny because I didn't dislike Soldi. You have to understand that I did actually quite like Soldi, but I think it's because we'd heard it, and the first couple of times I heard it, I didn't like it. So if this did get through, I think after about the 20th or whatever listen, I may actually quite like it. The only problem is the general public don't have 20 times to listen to it.
You're telling me I've still got Vezo now just penetrating through my brain.
Oh.
Okay, Oban, before we move on, what do you make of rap music?
I mean, I love rap music, but I mean, that doesn't mean that Jimmy P needs to qualify to Eurovision. I mean, please don't. I mean, by the time the 10 seconds kick in, everybody would be going to the kitchen, putting the kettle on, and nobody would be listening to the song. And then we would have Portuguese fans complaining about, oh, we should have qualified. This is an amazing song. I'm like, who cares? So you have better options.
Okay.
Sorry.
Final song. Let's see. Let's hear this. It's Thomas Luzia.
Quem sonha sabe a hora de inventar a realidade. Quer sorrir, mas também chora, e pouco ou nada se demora na mentira ou na verdade.
Loving this, absolutely loving it. Oban, what do you make of this one?
I mean, this is one sound, both vocally and musically, that will be memorable. There will be a possible. I think this is a possible winner for Holder national selection. He is charming. The song is stageable. Everything is memorable. Everything could stick with you for the next 3 months as soon as he wins the national final, and then drag you to your phone and would be voting for him. So this is a good candidate for Portugal, and I hope this will be one of the top 3 songs at the end of the national final season for Portugal.
Joe, what did you make of this?
I love it. It's that sort of holiday vibe, bit of flamenco in there. Is there flamenco in there? I mean, I love him. Lovely voice. It's sends you into a sort of a bit of a dream for 3 minutes as you're listening to it. So I think this was an excellent chance qualifying. Really has.
David, can you see this qualifying? Is this a potential?
50-50 chance, because I heard this, and I think it's a nice vocalist, but I think this vocalist is not the standout. Look, of course, this is the few songs I did listen clearly, so I dislike this song. I think is I think I did listen way too, so I have to listen again to you understand more. So for me, it's in the knockoff I state, but anything can happen because this is strong.
Yeah. It's quite zany. Yeah, I mean, I think if you hear it, you immediately kind of get that weird and wonderful kind of intro. Andy, what do you make of it?
I like it, but I like the verses more than I like the chorus, and that's always a big problem in a song.
Okay, and then just to wrap up, and then we're gonna give our view on semi-final 2. Tristan, quick one.
Oh no, I don't know. I was just wondering if maybe is this the song order, the actual song order that's going to be done on the night? I was just
Well, that I don't know, but it's certainly what's purported at this moment in time from each semi-final.
Okay. Yeah. I don't mind this song. It's nice. I love the guitar. It's Pedro Joya is the guitarist. It's really lovely guitar. But I just do find that last one a bit too old-fashioned for me.
Look at Andy, the old plucker. Look at him.
The what? A plucker.
Before we come on to who we think is going to win semi-final 2, we want you, the fans, to get involved in ESC Fan TV. We just started ESC Fan TV Sound Off. Every national selection weekend, you can get involved by sending in your 30-second reaction video to info@escfantv.com. Whichever national selection you want to talk about, we'll put it all together. We'll stick it on YouTube, just like we did last weekend. Let's take a look.
Gadman was better than Lisa.
I hope that this time my favorite won't get eliminated in the very fast duel.
Laurel Barker versus Laurel Barker.
It was okay. It was the best song of the 4.
Slavko's Ponytail whirling in the wind.
And I'm so happy. It's such a great song.
Good show. Right song one though.
You wrote this outside of a Starbucks waiting for your coffee to be called.
#banger.
So you can get involved. All you have to do is send your 30-second video from your smartphone, from your tablet to info@escfantv. Semi-final 2. Who do we think can qualify? Andy, who's your favourite from semi-final 2?
Yeah, Cardi. Cardi,
yeah. Joe, who's your favourite from semi-final 2?
Dubio.
Okay, Oben, who's your favourite?
Elisa Rodriguez and Thomas. Was it Thomas? The last.
Hang on a minute. I thought you. Oh, it's the other semi-final, wasn't it? Yes, it is. Sorry, yeah. And Tristan.
Jimmy P all the way.
Jimmy P. And finally, David, who's going to qualify from semi-final 2? Hello?
Yeah. No, can't hear you.
You're on mute, David.
Do it in sign language.
Yeah, we can hear you, David. Who's qualifying from semi-final 2?
I'm going with Cardi.
Yep.
Yay!
Jimmy P.
Yay!
Elsa Rodriguez.
Yep.
And I'm going with I will with Claudio Frank. So that's
and sticking with you, David, out of all of the semi-finalists, who is the most likely song or artist to win for Portugal this year and go on to represent you at Eurovision?
Damn, that is a hard question. I'm going with Blast. Maybe I think Blast.
Yeah.
Blast. I go with maybe Thrones and Shine.
There you go,
Fast
Open.
Track 2 from semi-final 1, and I think Jimmy P. And maybe I'm going with Elsa Rodriguez because thing is weird thing I have to say, but it's all on the line. I will say it's even played. Wait for the semi-finals, and then we qualify, because it's discussed on the night of the final. I think I'm going not to rush and say a definite winner. So it's really, really tricky, because on the night we need to find out, because only the best can win. That's the rule.
Absolutely, as we found out last year with Conan. So that's the two semi-finals. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night as we review the Melody Grand Prix second semi-final. And if you tuned in last night live, you would have seen Joe, who will be probably on again tomorrow night. Are you on tomorrow night, Joe? There you go. She's doing 3 nights in a running for Eurovision for ESC Fan TV. And we heard the 4 songs. There's been a 5th one announced now. We'll hear all 5 songs tomorrow night for Melody Grand Prix. Tune in at what time is it, Joe? It's 9 p.m. Central European time.
It is. It's not. No,
Was
it's
it
10
9:30?
Central European, 9 UK.
There you go.
I think,
10
yeah.
Central European time. There you go. I haven't got a clue what's going on anymore. Good, Joe. Good job, Joe's on the show.
Anyway.
So we will see you tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Central European time as we review live the Melody Grand Prix second semi-final. But do not forget to send in your reaction videos for all the stuff going on the weekend, all the national selections, to info@escfantv.com. All that is left to say is thank you to my guests. Thank you, Andy from London Vision. Forever a plucker, forever a naughty little plucker. Thank you, Joe, as always. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Pleasure, my lovely. See you soon.
Thank you, Tristan. And can I just say, Tristan, so well researched. Thank you so much for that. It was excellent.
It's on now. Thank you.
And thank you, Cyprus. Thank you, Oban.
I want to thank you all. Thank you, Europe. Thank you, Azerbaijan. Thank you, Australia. I love you. Good night. Bye-bye.
And thank you to David, all the way from Portugal. Great to have you on. And the very best to everyone in Portugal for Festival da Canção. We will be watching.
Muito obrigado.
All that is left. All that is left to say is thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow night. Bye for now.
We back on live.